which essentially is Korean drama coffee clutch. We are three friends who would get together on a monthly basis and just talk about Korean dramas because we loved them so much. And so we decided that since we couldn't find any other outlets out there to also talk about the excitement that we get or wanting to analyze different storylines, we thought we'd bring it to you. So that's what we're here to do. My name is Jennifer Wilson, and these are my friends Karen and Marisa, and we are going to now tell you what brought us to Korean dramas. Marisa?
It was a gift from Netflix.
Really?
Just for me.
Did they wrap it in a pretty bow?
Yeah, I had been watching some other foreign films and some other foreign series, and I think I had watched a Japanese series, and so Descendants of the Sun came up, and I kept looking at the, what do you call it, the frame?
Yeah.
And he had the glasses and
right?
lip gloss, and I thought, I don't know. And then one night I turned it on and I watched the first episode, and I could not believe what I was watching. Between the good-looking Korean actors, Song Hye-kyo and Song Joong-ki, and then the helicopter at the end.
Oh my God, the helicopter at the end.
Helicopter.
Okay, yes, because my gateway was also Descendants of the Sun, but did you, oh my God, it was hilarious. But the song, their theme song,
Yes.
they didn't even finish their first real date, and they were talking about never-ending love. I was a little confused. It was hilarious.
It was pretty amazing.
But it was pretty hot. That helicopter.
The helicopter, I was like, wow. And then he announced that they were in Afghanistan.
Right?
지금 여기가 어디입니까? 아프가니스탄.
The episode, and I was like, I'm in. I'm all in.
Yeah.
So then I Googled, and then I saw that I read somewhere that most of the episodes took place in a fictitious country called Urk.
Oh my God, that's right.
And I thought, I have to stick with this
right?
because
Not
I
by
don't
Tolkien.
understand. I don't understand what's happening
At
here, but I
all.
think I love it.
Yeah.
So that was it. And
They had
actually,
very good chemistry, I think, too.
amazing
Yeah,
chemistry.
obviously.
And I didn't realize till later that he's a very different kind of lead, that he was very direct. And as I soon discovered, as I tried to watch a second drama series, that it was kind of hard to replicate that. But the chemistry was amazing.
The bromance was amazing.
The
were
romance
so
was great.
good.
There were
Yeah.
so many surprises in there. There was the K-pop references and the Red Velvet performance and the hospital and the earthquake.
The earthquake was hilarious.
With what was it, a power plant or whatever?
Something like that, with like 12 people. Like they were rescuing for days. There was only, I think, like 20 people total. I was like, wait, what's happening here? That is my
How are they
favorite
still
thing.
alive?
Oh my God, my favorite thing about them is like, they're always like, we're going to like a huge match, and there's like 50 people. We're like, wait, this is supposed to be like nationwide, and there's like 20
Invest in
people.
some
It looks-
background extras,
yeah.
that's all we're saying.
Oh, it's so hilarious. Yes. Oh my God. So I also, Descendants of the Sun was also my gateway drug. And it was the same thing. I was just watching a bunch of foreign dramas, and then I got sucked into that one. And it was the same thing. It came over the DMZ, and I was like, what the hell is this show? I know nothing about Korea. I know nothing about South Korea. And I ended up Googling the politics of Korea, and I was just done. It was ridiculous. And it was fascinating. It was, he actually had emotions, which men in most American dramas do not, like real emotions, not just like rage and I'm going to kill people emotions. And she actually had a career that she liked, which also was interesting to see. And yeah, but that was my gateway. But then it took a very long time for me to find anyone that even came close to replicating that.
Right.
Yeah, it was tough. But
Because most of them are swoopy bangs
Oh,
and man tears.
right. Oh, so many man
and
tears.
Cinderella
Yes.
stories.
Yes, and she's always like she's always down on her luck, and he saves her, but she's spunky, and it's like, well, no,
She's
okay.
poor, but she has 16 part-time jobs,
Exactly.
so she's gonna get through
She's
life.
got it. All right, so we are both Descendants of the Sun, Karen.
So you guys
When did
had
you come to
a
it?
very high bar for your intro into K-drama. Let me bring it down a couple of notches.
Aw.
With all respect to my original K-drama crush, Kim Nam-gil.
Ooh, yeah. I just found him the other day.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So worth it.
So good.
We share a lot of favorites, which you will learn. So the reason I watched a K-drama to begin with was I was researching the language, and a friend of mine recommended you should watch some K-drama so you're just familiar with hearing the language and watching it being spoken. So I think this was back in, well, Hulu was still around. So Hulu was my channel back in whenever that was, several years ago. So I just,
Hulu.
and they have a whole, rock on. they had a whole K-drama section. I didn't really know what to look at, so I just started reading the synopses, and there was one I was like had a very attractive man in the still picture, so I was like, oh, let's try this out. And I just don't know what it was that swept me in, except for this inexplicable sense of longing.
Right? They're so good at that.
I mean, this was a man
So crazy.
who got like expelled from a wealthy family and wanted to get revenge on them. So he starts seducing like the oldest daughter in the family. And there's this scene in an elevator where they're almost touching hands.
Oh,
It's
so
just-
which
just
dramas?
like-
What is the name of it? You didn't even tell us the name of it. We're like, I want to watch this. What is this?
Nice tease, huh?
Yeah,
it was called Bad Guy.
Oh.
Bad Guy. And it was now that I have watched many, many, many other dramas, including Descendants of the Sun, which was phenomenal just in its production value and story and everything. Looking back on my original K-drama, it was a bit of a hot mess, but in all of the best ways possible.
right?
The worst
All of the
part of
best
it,
tropes.
all of the best tropes. He had an awesome mustache he was rocking, like the bad guy.
Oh.
Bad guy
Mustache.
mustache.
Yeah.
Visual cue.
perfect.
Exactly. Dun, dun, dun.
So, and I'm sure we'll discuss this more about story arcs and the format of K-dramas, but this particular show was supposed to be 16 episodes. Unfortunately, the lead, Kim Nam-gil, could not delay his military service any longer, so he had to leave during filming. So they cut it off at like episode 14 and tried to cram everything into that last episode without him in it. Basically, they were just using like flashbacks and scenes from previous episodes.
That's just a hot mess.
And if this was my first experience, so I'm like, what just happened?
It was a revelation to understand that a lot of these dramas they shoot them as they're airing. So the writing and the shooting is days before the air date.
It's amazing. And I should mention that the three of us, we all live in Los Angeles, and we all kind of work in the industry in some capacity. So we are well aware of how things are done. So the fact that we actually enjoy the Korean dramas is also an amazing thing, because the way they shoot them is almost criminal. Like, it's almost criminal. There's no turnaround.
Yes.
They literally are living on like 20 minutes of sleep. How many reports have you ever read where they're being raced to the hospital for like B12 injections to just finish
To have
shooting?
enough energy
Like,
to make
it
the rest
is
of the shoot.
You can see the bags under their eyes.
And you're like,
shooting.
why did they lose energy towards the end of the series? Well, geez, I wonder why.
It's because they haven't slept in 14 weeks. It is, and the number, like some of the shows.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We love it, but it's get a union for God's sakes. Get some union protection. Like, good God, it is amazing. Like some of them, you're like literally like they are racing. I've heard reports where they literally didn't even have the finished final episode until like 10 minutes before they went to air.
airtime.
It's like
Yep.
the broadcast news shots where Joan Cusack is racing through the hallways with the thing and sliding under desks to
Like,
make their final airtime. Like, what is it about this that makes us like them so much? Like, seriously, what is lacking
There's
in American
drama behind
television
the
that
drama,
we have
right.
just kind of decided that I would rather go just looking through a bunch of K-dramas than I would watching anything
Watching a
that's
show
un-American.
with subtitles.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for me, it was because we're looking at this other place that looks familiar, looks the same, but is different.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, it has to do with the product placement, which in Descendants of the Sun,
Astounding.
the number of times they go to Subway and shoot an
Because
entire
it's delicious.
So
Yes.
good.
She orders the entire platter.
Yes.
Goes through what sandwiches she wants. And I'm like, what is happening here?
I forgot about that.
We do this entire scene.
I've noticed product placement in American television and movies a lot more since watching K-dramas.
Right?
I'm like, oh look, there's
So
a,
it's the
there's
same.
a soda can of a very familiar brand.
So it's the same, but different. And there's just something fascinating about
The
that.
makeup product placement.
The makeup product placement.
Bottled water.
Bottled
Bottled's my
water.
favorite.
And
it's
it's
like
the
perfect shot taking a sip.
It's amazing.
Yes.
And
With
the
the
back to the
label.
makeup, it's like they don't just have one or two products. They have the entire
Oh,
line.
yes, the entire
You-
line.
An entire
It's spread
skincare
out.
regimen.
Astounding.
Yes.
It's like, wow, you are working 16 part-time jobs, but if maybe
But
you
yeah.
got rid of one or two products, you might be able to live in an actual
Might be able to
apartment.
afford your rent. better,
It's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it's astounding. But yeah, so you like it because it shows you a different window from here. Okay.
Yes. and looking into a different culture.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Korean culture, but I'm fascinated by it.
Okay, very cool. What
Because
about
it's
you?
Asian, as I
Yeah.
am, but different from where I grew up.
Where did you grow up?
Vancouver, Canada. No,
Yeah,
I'm Filipino.
just-
My parents are from the Philippines, so.
Do you
it's
go there
different.
often?
No,
No.
no,
Okay. Were you raised
I've
very
been-
much in the Filipino culture?
no, not at all. Total Western culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Karen? What about Korean dramas makes you want to watch those instead of any of our good old American dramas?
Well, actually, the emotional element that initially pulled me in, I think, was just that. Especially, that's why I'm drawn more to even the romances than some of the thriller.
Yeah, can we talk about how good looking all of these actors are?
Well, yes.
I will.
There is that.
There's
We are
that.
2 white girls and a Filipino girl, and so what was that guy's name who said that Asian men are not attractive? Was it Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey, you're very incorrect.
We
so wrong.
So wrong.
agree to disagree on that
So
one.
wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, you're just wrong.
just flat out wrong. Anyway,
but
moving
but
on.
it is in a lot of the romantic stories, just that sense of longing, like these two people who just want to be together, they just really want something, and just watch, traveling with them on that journey till when they finally get it, or not, depending.
Oh, and the fan
Twists
service.
can happen anytime.
Fan service. The shower scenes.
Oh,
Oh,
there are a lot of those.
the drama tropes.
They're
Drama
so
tropes.
good. But I will say, going back to what you say about the longing, I think what's fascinating for me and is the fact that longing in American dramas is so different. It's so different. Like it's like the dude is not allowed to have actual emotions. It's like that weird, and I don't want to get horribly political around that soapbox, but it's that whole like toxic masculinity that everyone's talking about these days. And I feel like the American television is a lot of that. And I think I just got tired of it. So when I watched Descendants of the Sun, and he actually just admitted he missed her in just a normal conversation. It wasn't because he was on his deathbed or he was going away for like to the Arctic for 40 years or he was Captain America being
Overcome some
buried,
life challenge.
going down with this plane. It wasn't like he just was like, wow, it was good to see you. I missed you. I was like, what? Wait, and it was just part of the story. It wasn't the story, which I just found it so refreshing and so lovely that. Yeah, that was kind of what it was for me.
But you mentioned that Descendants of the Sun was a really high bar. I have to say
I
it
felt
was,
that it was.
really hard to find another drama to watch.
So
after that.
hard.
What were both of
Yeah.
your experiences like?
So
then?
hard.
So you realized,
Yeah.
hey, I dig this. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but I want to keep watching. How did you then choose your next, or what was your next one, if you remember, or what was your experience?
I
like
went
in
basically
watching
down the Song Joong Ki rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So I ended up
Ah,
watching
where an actor, you like an actor, and then you follow that person.
Yeah, so I ended up watching Nice Guy. Was that what it was called? It was so tropey in retrospect.
I don't know what
It
I
was
think
so
I've seen that
epically
one.
dramatic and so ridiculously hilarious.
Were there wrist grabs?
Oh, so many wrist
Oh, I
grabs.
love wrist
so many
grabs.
wrist grabs.
Really.
And so yeah, that's why I ended up going there. And then I was like, I'm not really sure what that was. So then I tried. Then I pivoted, and so I hit a lot of the. Then I was kind of doing the looking for the different places. What are the top dramas? And so I ended up kind of going
Okay.
down those
Okay.
rabbit holes.
Yes.
But that
Right.
was how that all.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
that started.
Yeah, I think I skipped around on Netflix and tried starting a few others, but there are a lot of veterinarians.
Oh,
Oh, that-
shocking amount of
That's a
that.
thing. That's a
Yeah.
current thing. That's a current profession.
And
In dramas.
yeah, then
In my
I couldn't find anything to land on, so I was Googling what are if you like Descendants of the Sun,
Right.
Oh, you'll
then this
like-
is where you should start.
Yeah.
And I
Where did
think
that guide
I
you?
finally landed on Coffee House. Is that what
Coffee
it's called?
Prince?
Coffee
Prince?
Prince.
Coffee
Coffee
Prince,
Prince
yes.
with
Or Shop
Ganyu.
of Coffee
and
Prince.
Uh-huh.
and I liked
That
yes.
is one of the classics.
Classic.
That
It's
was
a
that was probably
Yeah.
the third K-drama I watched
I
after I,
think
asked
it was
a friend
yeah.
for recommendations.
It was definitely in the first wave of ones that I watched for sure. Yeah. Okay.
And then I understood a little more.
Yeah.
And then I met Ganyu. And then Goblin was about to come out.
Oh,
I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble on the Goblin one. We're gonna have to do a whole episode on Goblin because I am one of
You didn't-
hated Goblin
you
with every
did
fiber
not
of my
know.
being.
I'm in the middle.
I know.
I'm in the middle.
We'll have to
Sorry,
go.
just-
We'll have to move on to how much I
Not
hated
did.
Goblin. We'll have to do that one next. We will talk about. I know. I think we might have to do
I
that
think
one
we
as
might
our
have to
next
do that.
episode.
I'm
It's
writing-
just Goblin.
I'm writing it down.
Write it down.
on the MyPad.
Goblin. Pro
Goblin.
and con. Absolutely. All right. So I think that pretty much shows you what we're going to talk about Just real quick, so we're gonna wrap it up because this is YouTube and nobody wants to watch us talk
And
for longer
thank you
than
for
15
having
minutes.
watched this long.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
Currently watching, I am just gonna say my two tops right now, two top favorites I'm watching are Because This Is Your First Life, so good. I totally recommend that one. And 20th Century Boy Girl, one of the sweetest dramas I've watched ever.
Very
If they can
sweet.
stick the landing, it will be on my repeat. Fingers crossed, landing will be stuck.
I'm also, on Jen's recommendation, into 20th Century Boy and Girl, and I just finished While You Were Sleeping, which I really enjoyed.
I am watching On the Way to the Airport.
Oh, so good.
That hurt.
So good. I love him. What is
That
his
hurt.
name?
I don't know.
I don't remember. He's a Lee. I don't
I'm
remember.
terrible
His,
with the
I
names.
don't.
I don't know.
We're also terrible with names. Don't hold it against us. We will
like
usually
up to
go
you.
to the.
We'll go to the iPad.
If we had more time, we'd go to the iPad.
And I'm
We'll
watching.
let you know next time.
And I'm watching Chicago Typewriter.
Oh,
Which we
also
both,
so
we both-
good.
We both watched.
all right.
Yeah.
So there it is. There's the K3. So hopefully you'll join us again. We are going to basically just be doing this on the regular because we just love to talk about it and go all over the place. Probably next time we're going to talk about Goblin. So thanks so much. We'll see you guys next time.